In a constantly changing global business climate, the ability to not just survive, but thrive over the long term depends on how well entrepreneurs anticipate, understand, and manage risks. Risk awareness is not merely a defensive mindset. It is a proactive tool for building a sustainable business model that can stand the test of time. This final module focuses on the strategic importance of integrating risk management into the DNA of an enterprise. It explores how cultivating risk awareness at all levels of an organization enhances resilience, agility, innovation, reputation, and long-term profitability. By the end of this module, you should be able to define what constitutes long-term sustainability in a business context, understand how risk awareness contributes to business longevity, build systems that embed risk thinking into everyday decision-making, develop a culture of resilience through people, policies, and planning, create sustainable strategies based on continuous learning and adaptation. What is business sustainability? Business sustainability refers to the ability of a company to operate profitably over the long term while maintaining operational efficiency, ethical responsibility, and strategic adaptability. It is not only about staying in business, but about growing intelligently and responsibly, using resources wisely, and avoiding harmful disruptions. Sustainability is built on three interconnected pillars: economic sustainability, profitability, and financial health; environmental sustainability, responsible use of resources; social sustainability, ethical practices, and community impact. In the context of this course, we focus more on economic and operational sustainability through risk-conscious decision-making. Why risk awareness is essential for sustainability. A business that is blind to risks is vulnerable. Ignorance of threats, whether from competitors, regulation, technology, markets, or internal operations, creates fragility. Key reasons risk awareness promotes sustainability: encourages proactive rather than reactive planning, protects reputation and stakeholder trust, promotes flexibility and adaptive strategies, identifies early warning signs before problems escalate, enhances decision-making by anticipating consequences, builds a foundation of trust with investors, customers, and regulators. Risk-aware organizations not only prepare for the worst, they are also ready to capitalize on emerging opportunities. Embedding risk awareness into strategy. To ensure long-term sustainability, risk must be mainstreamed into business operations, leadership, and culture. A. Risk-integrated strategic planning. When setting business goals, entrepreneurs should ask, what could go wrong? What assumptions are we making? What are the risks if this strategy fails? What is our fallback plan? Integrating risk analysis into strategic planning sessions ensures that goals are grounded in realistic, evidence-based thinking. B. Enterprise Risk Management, ERM. ERM is a structured approach to managing risk across an organization. It includes identifying and ranking risks, assigning risk owners, monitoring risk indicators, reporting and communication systems, risk response protocols. ERM helps small and large businesses stay ahead of danger and change. Building a culture of risk awareness. Organizational culture plays a critical role in risk management. A risk-aware culture empowers employees to speak up when they see danger, flag unethical behavior early, avoid shortcuts that compromise quality or safety, report financial discrepancies, suggest alternative approaches in uncertain times. To build such a culture, train staff in basic risk concepts, encourage transparency and feedback, reward good judgment, not just aggressive growth, lead by example. Leaders must model risk awareness, conduct regular team risk audits and scenario drills. Tools for sustaining risk awareness. Some practical tools and systems include Risk Register, a live document that logs potential risks, their likelihood, impact, owner, and status. SWOT plus risk mapping, integrating threats from SWOT into a risk action matrix. Key risk indicators, KRIs, metrics that track early signs of trouble, e.g., high staff turnover, late payments, shrinking margins. Contingency planning, preparing alternate routes and solutions. Insurance and contracts, formalizing protections in agreements. Case study, sustaining a business with risk awareness. Case, a Nigerian agritech startup. An agribusiness providing farm-to-market supply chains embedded risk awareness from day one. They used satellite weather predictions to forecast crop yields, insured against post-harvest loss, and built strong supplier contracts. When floods hit the region, their competitors lost 70% of produce. This business had alternatives and bounced back faster, retaining clients and expanding operations. Lesson: risk awareness isn't fear, it's foresight. Common pitfalls that destroy long-term sustainability: overexpansion without reserves, ignoring regulatory changes, blind trust in vendors or partners, failure to evolve with technology, lack of internal checks and accountability, not learning from past mistakes. Link between resilience and innovation. When businesses are risk-aware, they are better placed to take calculated, innovative risks. This means testing new models without risking total collapse, entering new markets with buffer strategies, trying new technologies with contingency plans, learning from failure without going bankrupt. Innovation plus risk awareness equal to sustainable growth. The role of leadership in sustaining risk awareness. Entrepreneurs and business leaders must champion long-term thinking over short-term wins, honest conversations over wishful thinking, investment in risk tools and education, delegation with accountability, periodic business health checkups. Conclusion: the path to enduring businesses. Risk awareness is not an obstacle. It is an enabler of sustainability. Businesses that are self-aware, data-driven, transparent, and forward-thinking outlast others. To achieve sustainability, keep listening to the market. Monitor risk like a radar system. Train teams to think ahead. Create buffers for economic shocks. Invest in adaptability and values. A resilient entrepreneur doesn't just survive chaos. They build a legacy through insight, caution, and courage.